Hi everyone, and welcome back to Questions on the Parsha. This week's Parsha is Parsha Tetzaveh, and I've got some questions for you. You know, in this week's Parsha, a new role is introduced into Am Yisrael, the role of the Kohen. It says in the 28th chapter in the first line, V'ata tekarev alecha et Aaron achicha, he and his sons, v'chahano li. So, before we get into the question of what the Kohen is, I want to know, why is the language tikarev, draw him near? Why is that associated with his new role as Kohen? First of all, you should think about the fact that the korbonot, the offerings that share the same root as tikarev, are going to be one of his primary jobs. Second of all, I would recommend comparing with the 29th chapter in the first line, where it says, Zeh hadavar asher ta'aseh lehem lekadesh otam lekahli, right? To sanctify them. So compare the two and tell me what the language of tikarev adds to the role of Kohen. Okay, second question is the one I mentioned. There in that 28th chapter in the first line, we encounter this word lekahen. And my question is, what does it mean? Now, it's important to note that a noun usage of a word rarely sheds as much light as its verb. Also, look in the 28th chapter in the third line there in Rashi, where he gives a very specific definition. And by the way, in light of his definition, I want you to think about what light it sheds on the meaning of the line, Mamlechet Kohanim B'goy Kadosh, a nation of Kohanim and a holy people that we spoke about as the introduction to the revelation at Sinai. And finally, a couple of places to look. In the second book of Shmuel, in the 20th chapter, in the 26th line, and also in the first book of Malachim, in the 4th chapter, in the 5th line. Go see how the word Kohen is used, and perhaps we'll shed some light on its meaning. Okay, last question. In the 28th chapter, in the 30th line, it says, V'nasa Aaron et mishpat b'nei Yisrael al libo lifnei Hashem tamid. Right? And Aaron will carry the judgment of Am Yisrael on his heart before God continually. My question is, why is this lashon of naso, that he will carry? What does it teach us about the role of the Kohen? And furthermore, compare it to the 28th chapter and the 38th line, where it says, V'nasa Aaron et avon hakodshim, right? That Aaron will carry the sin of the sacred offerings. The question is, what does this word naso add to our understanding of the role of the Kohen? And furthermore, as a sort of subsidiary question, is the Kohen there to serve God or to serve Am Yisrael? Okay, those are our questions for this week. Until this time next week, Shabbat Shalom.